You're watching the Adrian Bauer Project. Hello. Many thanks for choosing to click on my thumbnail and to watch my content. Very much appreciated as always. Okay, so vlog number 2 of our Monstertrucks of Rock build. If you remember back from the last episode, we started working on the chassis of the tractor unit. Yes, I did say chassis. And many thanks for all your comments that you made on that video. I've had a couple of people that that have said either in the comment section or private messages just saying they have made this kit before and they agree with what I've said about it so far. So if you've not seen that one, go and have a look at that one now. They're not very long videos, only about 10-12 minutes, and then come back and watch this one. Okay, so before we get into full view to show you what we've done, I've done a nice little video to tell you all the little details about what I've done so far, and then we'll talk about it then. Well, first of all, as you can see, before I did anything, I had the lawns to mow. Thanks for that. So that's all that done. Right, so that meant after I'd done that, I could crack on. First of all, I primed what I'd already done, which was the chassis for the tractor unit, so they're all right, ready to paint. And then after that, I did a little experiment, thanks to my friend in New Zealand, Grant Lassin, who gave me the idea of trying to make silver parts look less toy-like, and that is to give them a spray of satin varnish. And blow me down, it actually works. However, as you can see from this next photo, I did continue to make the fuel tanks, and they are going to have to be repainted because the seam lines along the middles of them are horrendous and they will stick out like a sore thumb. I also made the interior where you've got the driver's seat and the passenger seat and the bed in the back. It was after I made that and I dry fitted it into the cab that I realised that you're not going to see the bedding at the back. I did have an idea of painting the national flag of each band on the bedding, but you're not going to see it, so I think it's just going to be a waste of time and paint and effort, so they'll just be painted whatever colour springs to mind. So then I moved on to the cabs, where they just needed to have those top parts glued on. Bit of a faff, they don't go on very well, but bit of patience and you get on there. And then lastly we got on to the wheels and the suspension units on the underside of the trailer, and this was possibly the only what you could call modelling part of this whole video, this whole kit. It's the only part that you are going to need probably the basic of modelling skills. It's just a bit of a faff, but if you stick with it, take your time, you'll get there in the end. And of course, I don't know if anybody's saying that I absolutely hate models that come in black plastic. For some reason, the glue never seems to set properly. I don't know what it is about them. So as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that looks good in black plastic is my wife, Claire. So there we go. Okay. So first things first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at these silvery plastic parts. Now, I know this isn't going to show up at all well on my camera. I haven't got the greatest camera. Like I say, I always use the camera on my laptop. But hopefully you can see that using a satin varnish has got rid of some of that horrible plasticky sheen that you do get on these silver parts. and it has made them look a lot less plasticky. So once again, Grant Lassin out there in glorious New Zealand, many thanks for that tip. And if you've ever wondered how to do that yourself, give it a go. Just get some spray satin varnish, not matte, because that'll just ruin them altogether. Gloss will just make them even more shiny than what they already are. Has to be satin because it's sort of that middle in between, isn't it? So that's that bit done on there. Fantastic. Okay, so first things first, let's have a look at the easy bit. I've done the cab. All I've done for the cab, well, I say I've done the cab, is we put this this cover bit on there. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm not a trucker. I don't know lorries. So like I said, it weren't the greatest of fits. There are gaps there that I'm not bothered about. I think them gaps there are supposed to be there. What you do have to look out for though are these corner bits there, because they don't fit flush. You're gonna have to glue them and then either put a peg on them or use tape or whatever you've got to try and hold them in place. As I said in the little photo montage as well, it's black plastic, and I don't know what it is, whether because it's a harder plastic than the grey or the buff colour or whatever the colour they use. I just find that glues just have a problem sticking as well as, say, a normal grey plastic, which just seems to be a bit softer. But I say that's a little tip on there. Inside the cab, we've already done as well. All that was gluing in the gear stick and the steering wheel. It's like I said as well, I had visioned myself painting the national flag of each band, so we've got Motorhead here, said it'd been the Union Jack. But after doing a little dry fit inside this cab here, I'm not going to force it. I'm not forcing it because it takes a bit of a bugger to get out. But as you can see, I've not got it fully in, but you're not going to see them anyway. After you put the glass in, you're not going to see it. So I'm just going to paint them. Oh, there we go. That's what I was saying. I'll do come out because I wanted to mention something else. No, is this going to be stuck? Oh, there, got ya. Bit of a faff that. There is some detail, for the dial, speedometer, pressure gauges, all that, what they have in trucks. I might just get some dry brush, a bit of silver over it so that they pop out a bit more, but I don't think you're going to see them, so it's up to you how far you want to go on the cab. Okay, so what I didn't mention in my little video just then was I made up the trailers, put the bottoms on to the trailers, and I fitted the doors. I've glued my doors. I'm not going to have them opening and shutting. I did have one of the doors that was missing a pin on the bottom, so that had to be glued anyway. Sort of forced my hand, so yeah, I've just glued mine on. All you have to do is make sure you get the bottom right up to the end there. Now the other two I've got are fitted perfectly. This one, for some reason, it's got a bit of overhang there where it shouldn't have been. I don't understand why. I fitted it should be, so probably, I don't know. I honestly don't know why that's happened. The other two are fitted perfect. This one's just been a bit of an arse, to tell you the truth. So, right, so we've got that far. These bits here, which are the standing legs for the trailer, you've got two options. You can either have them in the raised position, which is what I've got mine, because the trailer is going to be attached to the tractor unit when it's done, or you can have them in the lower position, which means you could have the trailer freestanding. It is a bit of a click fit, so I suppose you could, swap and change it if you wanted to, but it's going to weaken joints a lot, and it's toy value. So I think you have to make your mind up on that part as soon as you're doing this part, what you're going to be doing. Perhaps you haven't got the room to have the tractor unit and the trailer unit together, so what you could do there, have the legs in the lower position, so you have the trailer on its own, and then have the tractor unit on a different shelf. I don't know, one above, one below, one to the side, whatever your setup is, and have it as a separate model. So there's the option for you. As I was saying, the only really modelling part that I've come across on this kit is putting this together. Now, it was a bit of a faff, to be honest. You have to put these metal girders on. I think the metal gird is supposed to be metal, aren't they? You put them on, and then you could slide your chassis unit onto it. It shows you to do all that before you put the bottom onto the trailer, but there's not going to be any problem at all putting your bottom on first before you do all this, and I just find it a bit easier actually myself. So everything in there has been done. There was a little bit of a faff on one of the parts there because you don't glue it in. It has to be loose. That's so you can get some of these side braces on. Just check as well, excuse me, that you do get these side braces the right way around, because it's flat one side and then you've got the other parts on the other side, and if you get it on the wrong way around, it's not going to fit properly. Another thing that I found with this as well, because I've only had time to make this one up, but I'm going to carry it over to the next two, are the pins, the locating pins. Some of them are too big for the holes. Now it's up to you whether you want to drill the hole out a bit more. What I suggest is sand down the locating pin, because it's so easy to make the hole too big. But I did find that on a lot of the pieces on here, that the locating pins were too big for the holes. But just a couple of swipes with a sanding stick, dry fitting of course, then you'll find it makes it a lot easier. But there are little pins as well, locating pins you are going to have to do it with, so you're going to have to look out for that bit as well. So like I say, when all that's done, this unit is placed onto the end there, and there are a couple of divot bits where you slide it on, you slide it up to the back, and then just glue it into position. The mud flaps and the lights are nothing to worry about there, they are just so easy. So there we go, that's what the trailer unit looks like. I say that's what the doors are like. I'm not having mine operational, so there we go. So now I've got to go away and do suspension units and for the wheels on all the others. I did mention in my first video that this video was going to be painting the chassis on the tractor unit and doing the wheels, but I've decided that the wheels are going to be the last things that go on, so they're going to be left out last. I just want to get all the bits glued on, because 99% of these parts are going to be painted black. Now it says in the instructions to paint it as you're going along. I'd ignore that. What I do is get all your plastic parts glued on, because you know what it's like when you've painted something and then you've got to glue it. If you're new to modelling, you don't really paint the parts that you're going to glue, because it doesn't give you a good bond. And with this being black plastic as well, I find that it doesn't bond as well as softer grey plastic. So everything's virtually black anyway. Another thing as well, if you're not a modeler and you've bought this kit because you're a metal fan and you wanted to do it, don't try brushing it with the paints that you've got in the kit, because for one, there ain't going to be enough black for the whole model. trust me, there's not going to be enough. And the brush that comes with the kit are crap. They are bog standard Rebel ones. They are crap, honest to God. I think the only fit place for them are the bin. What I'd do, go down to your local cheapo hardware store, Poundland or something, buy a rattle can of black paint that will go onto plastic. If it says acrylic on the can, that's perfect. And I'd just blat everything with black paint after the spray can, because it's going to look a lot smoother. It's going to look a better finish, and you're not going to get streaky brush marks. And it's all, as long as you're careful with it, don't pull. Just make sure you're at least 6 centimeters, 6 inches or 12 inches away. Give it a couple of decent coats, and that's all you're going to need. Bit of a warning as well, do that on all the black parts before you put the silver bits on, or you're going to get black paint all over your silver bits as well. Just glue them in later. So there we go, that's vlog number 2. Hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you all got the little hint and tip out of that one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, on the next video I'm going to have started painting, so I'll show you how far I'll have got on that. So thanks for watching. Okay, and 3, 2. Many thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and to ring the little notification bell.